Hey everybody, today we're going to go ahead and start with number 14. We're just going to do just number 14 actually in this video. It is a 4-part problem as part of the spring 2019 MCAS. So this is, again, if you've watched these other videos, you already know this, but if you haven't, the idea is that you take this test digitally and then after you review your answer, because you can check on the actual application if you get it right or not, and then watch this video and it'll explain how to do it. So try it first, and that way you also get used to using this weird interface that they expect you to use to input your answer. The link to the test is found in the video description here. There's also a link to the PDF, so if you want to print this out, if you don't have one of these, if you're not one of my students, or if you lost the packet. Yeah, so anyway, let's get right to it. So this question is 4 parts. This double bar graph shows the amount of times and minutes an athlete spent on aerobic training and strength training each day for 5 days, okay? So the solid bar is the aerobic. Ugh, I hate aerobic. Strength training, yeah, that's how we do it. So you can see on Monday, it looks like they did more strength than aerobic. On Tuesday, they were crazy and did all this aerobic exercise. Who does that? Ugh. Here, they did a little bit of aerobic, a little more than strength. Thursday, they did significantly more aerobic than strength. And Friday, they did a little bit more strength. This person likes to do aerobic for some reason. I don't know. These people are crazy. Sticks to the strength stuff. It's way more fun. Anyway, on what day did the athlete spend the longest total amount of time training? Okay, show explain how you get your answer. So we need to figure out on which day was the total time training higher or highest. And the way you do that is find out, first of all, you need to know what each day they did, right? So on Monday, we're gonna go day by day. Monday they did 10 of aerobic and 20 of strength. So 10 plus 20 would be 30. So Monday they did, different color here, it was 30 minutes of training there, right? Sorry, I'll write that a little bigger so you can see that. And then Tuesday they did, 60 plus 10, so they did 70 on Tuesday. Wednesday they did 20 plus 15, so that's going to be what, 35? 35 total. Here they did 50 plus 30, so that's 80, right? And then on Friday they did 45, because this is Friday, so it's 45. 45 plus 40, which is, what, 85? So what's the highest number? Friday. Friday did the most. And you could just explain by showing you did 40 plus 45. Now, most people that get this problem wrong are actually going to put Tuesday, because they see this bar as the highest, they don't read the problem carefully, and they just immediately put Tuesday rather. Because Tuesday has the highest bar, but it does not have the highest total amount of time. Okay? So yeah, that's it for part A. I'm going to have to flip back and forth, guys, because the way I printed this up, just to warn you. Part B. What is the median total number of minutes the athlete spent training? Just the median total number of minutes spent each training. Okay, so the median is the middle number, and they're talking about total minutes. So these values, we're looking for the median of that data set. So let's go ahead and write these numbers in order from lowest to highest, because that's how you have to find the median. So 30, 70, 35. Okay, so first, the smallest one's 30. Right. Next highest one is 35. Next highest one would be 70. Right. And then 80 and 85. Okay. So that's the order from lowest to highest. And you can see if you didn't get the first part right, it'd be impossible to get this part right, really. That's the middle number. So the median would be 70 minutes. That's our median. And it's asking to show your answer. Show or explain. You could just put these numbers in order in the first part of that box. You put your answer, then below it put 70 to show it's the middle number. All right, part C. What percent of the total number of minutes the athlete spent training for the 5 days was spent on strength training? Show or explain how you got your answer. Okay, so let me go ahead and again read this. So what percent, so we're now talking about percentages, of the total number of minutes was on strength training? So the total is going to be on the bottom, right? The strength is going to be on the top, and it's a percentage. So we're going to take this ratio and we're going to multiply it by 100. That's how you find a percentage. Strength, right? That's basically the formula we're going to use here. So we need the total number of minutes first, and then we need to find out how much minutes were spent on strength. So let's go ahead and back to total. So total number of minutes, we'd actually just add these numbers together, the 30, 70, 35, 80, 85. Okay. So yeah, we're just basically going to add those together. So let's do this, change the color here. So 30, 35, 70, 80, 85. Let's find the total by adding these all together. So 5 plus 5 is 10. Carry the 1. 1 plus 3 is 4, plus 3 is 7, plus 7 is 14, plus 8 would be 22, plus 8 is 30. If you're not sure, double check that, do it again. 3, because remember, we would not have a calculator for this, so it's always good to check. So 4, 7, 14, 22, 30. Yep, that works. So that's the total number of minutes. That's going to be the bottom number. Okay. Now we need to know what the strength total is. So this would require us to, I'm going the wrong way. We need to calculate how many minutes we're spending strength training. So strength training is the bar here, so the striped one. So 20, I'm actually going to write it down here. 20 plus 10 plus 15 plus 30 plus 45. So let's add those together. Carry the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 12. So 120 it looks like. Yep. So 120 minutes spent on strength training. It's really not a lot for the week, honestly. For someone who spends that much time exercising, it's really not a lot of strength training for the week. Times 100. And that should give us the percentage strength. So this would be pretty easy if we set it to calculator, but some students would definitely struggle with this part. So we can simplify this. You can go ahead and get rid of those zeros. We can simplify this even further. 12 and 30 are both divisible by 6. So it'd be 2/5. And 2/5 times 100. So 2/5. If you're not sure how to do this, right? Divide by 4. Yeah. Boom. So it'd be 4/10 times 100. And that would equal 40%. Okay? So as long as you get parts A and B done, you're going to get 2 points out of 4, which is really good. This is really, do you know how to calculate a percentage? And can you really get the information they're asking for out of that graph? This one shouldn't be too bad. I think I could see some students struggling just with a fraction, honestly, just figuring out how to do that, unfortunately. But hopefully this will help. Part D. Okay, last part. Determine whether the sum of the mean number of minutes spent on aerobic training and the sum, determine whether the sum of the mean number of minutes spent on aerobic training and the mean number of minutes spent on strength training is equal to the mean total number of minutes spent on training. For some reason that was really confusing the way it was written. So basically it's asking you for if the average number of minutes training on strength plus the average number of minutes spent on aerobic training, that sum, if that is equal to the total mean of all the minutes on training. It should, logically that should be the case, but let's still do that anyway. So we need to separate the aerobic and the strength. So we know that the strength was 120, right? That's just the total. It's not the mean yet. So strength is 120. And because we did a total of 300 minutes, that means 180 has to be the aerobic. You can go back and add them all up, but it's going to be 180. Okay? Now the mean would be these divided by 5, because it's 5 days. So 120 divided by 5. And that's going to equal, let's see, 5, 2, 24. So strength mean is 24. Let's do the aerobic mean. The aerobic mean is going to be 180 divided by 5. Okay, 180 divided by 5, let's see. 5 divides that 3 times with 30, so 36. That's the aerobic mean. Okay. So again, it's strength mean is 24, aerobic mean is 36. So their sum, because that's the sum of them, add those together. 24 plus 36 is going to be 60. So that's their means added together. Now it's asking if that's going to be the mean of the total minutes. So total minutes we know is 300, and the number of days is 5. and 300 divided by 5 is indeed 60. So yes, it does. They are equal to each other. So you could show this calculation. I mean, I think part C is actually harder than this. I think some people would have a hard time understanding what this is asking us to do. That's the only trick, because it's kind of worded in a very strange way. But basically, you have to be able to show that you can calculate the strength mean, calculate the aerobic mean, and show that their sum would be equivalent to the overall mean at time on training. Okay. If you can't get part D, don't sweat it. I wouldn't lose too much sleep over that. You really want to make sure you can get at least parts A and B done. If you can get parts A and B done of this problem, you're going to be in a really strong position. Pretty much anybody that's able to get 2 out of 4 parts on their multi-part questions, or what are they called now? Constructed response, because they have to change the name of them every few years. You're going to be in a really good position. So if you can't get C and D, don't lose too much sleep, but it's good to try it. But A and B, if you can get those, you're in a good spot. All right, so I'm going to try to do another video. I think I'm going to run out of time today, but we'll definitely do more tomorrow. Thanks, guys.